a lot of focus onto early game gods, specifically in the jungle, Ratatoskr, Serket, things like that. So don't be surprised if you see Cryptic or Vigilant really go for that. As Ron mentioned on the desk, Mirage, the new jungler for Team Vigilant, likes to favor these early game gods. Thanatos, obviously the one that most think of whenever you think of Mirage, but his Thor is very comfortable as well. So I'm really looking at the junglers between Sanford Soccer and Mirage, how well they're going to interact with one another. And then the matchup between Final K and Mando Warrior is very heavily favoring Cryptic, at least on paper. How well can Mando Warrior hold that lane against a really, really hot Final K?
And I also wouldn't be surprised if we see Cryptic do a little bit of what they're doing now, which is show some focus onto that support role, the Guardian role. Try and keep Pain de Vion from being on something that he's really comfortable with. He's the leader of that team. It doesn't always mean he's got the highest stats or whatever, but definitely he wants to be on something where he can dictate the pace of the game. And ban out Ganesh and pick Cullen, that gives you a lot of pressure. I
mean, Vigilance has first picked Ganesh for Pain multiple times so far this year. So good job by Cryptic to do their homework and take that away from him early on. Cullen could be going to Sam in the jungle, but most likely for Final K and solo, and Vigilant immediately take two gods that are on the right side of the map. That's where priority has been, and that's where the priority is in picks and bans.
And they're not just gods on the right side of the map, but that's a lot of pressure with it. Nemesis, very good at helping lock down, especially in working along with that pen that Erlong Shen provides. Who he picked up for Cryptic, though, that's a shot towards making sure that our duo lane's looking good as they pick up Fafnir, too.
So no pick onto jungle or solo, kind of leaving that Cullen open-ended for Cryptic and just picking their duo lane instead. Vigilant going to pick another one of Pain's signature gods, the Athena. He doesn't really care what other supports are playing in the league. He's going to play what he thinks is good, and he's going to kind of prove to other people that it is good because he usually has very good performances on the gods he's comfortable on.
And he's one of those players able to get the most out of that Defender of Olympus in particular, all over the map with this Athena pick, using those taunts to burn out beats. But those are some great bans from Vigilant. Take away some of that Ratatoskr pressure, take away Thoth as well, who's a huge mid lane target, and then pick up Scylla for yourself.
No surprise that's Scylla in the mid lane for Shadow Chair. With this much setup for him, with that being his most comfortable god that we've seen him on so far in the SPL, I like it. But this is a really good opportunity for an Awilish pick for Cryptic. If I'm on Cryptic, that's the direction that I'm thinking of. Give Cullen two Final K in that solo lane. You've got a knock up from him. You've got a knock up from Hu Yi. You've got a leap that you can pull back from Scylla. But instead, it's going to be the Robin most likely in the jungle, which fits the same sort of role, which is that early pressure, can dive into the backline and not really worry about much else. This can work out very, very well, but I just think Awilish might have been that sneaky pick that Vigilant might not have been expecting.
So Vigilant still waiting to pick on very likely their Hunter for that ADC role. They still got a lot of good options available to him, as really no focus has been put towards him in the picks and bans. They can't pick up Jing Wei, instead picking up that Kernanos, who we maybe aren't seeing as much of lately, despite how popular he was not too long ago.
I like this Kernanos pick. I mean, this is a god that has kind of flown under the radar a little bit now. Was that top pick, top ban for a long time in that duo lane, but still has a lot of the things going for him that he did back then. Still really good damage, CC immunity, or CC in his kit, and then that ultimate is so potent at a competitive level. To get 2 seconds of guaranteed CC, regardless of diminishing returns, has a lot of impact, especially on the gods like a Cullen, who as soon as he rage transformations, you can just kind of turn him into a pig, and then you don't have to worry about him for 2 seconds.
And he also gives him a little bit more freedom through his build path, too. He's able to get so much off his passive, like the slow, like getting a little bit of extra damage or protection shred, the life steal as well. So we often see when you pick up Kernos nowadays that it gives you some freedom to deviate a little bit from some of our normal build paths. As we see 4 members grouping over here in the right side solo, and Akil the Hun getting some poke.
Just trying to make sure. Oh, I actually had it backwards. I was talking about Shadow Chair Scylla, but it's Akil the Hun. Excuse me about that. And his sort of transformation into the mid role has been really fun to watch, because he normally a hunter, spent some time in a lot of time in the Challenger Cup as a hunter, and how well he's going to do in the mid lane is a big question mark for Vigilant. And he's looked really, really good on Soul in particular. That Soul ban from Cryptic was right on the money in looking at what Akil the Hun has had success with so far. But look at where Pain is. He's wrapping around the back of this mid lane.
He might get a little bit of extra trouble from these minions, but choosing to go right into those from the start. Akil the Hun, though, takes so much damage from the ricochet. Vedium getting first blood. Where'd you go, buddy?
Did he get hit by a double or a triple bounce? It doesn't matter. He got hit by something, and he got killed for it. Just trying to follow up on where Pain was going. Not the right spot for a kill of the Hun, and that's not a good start. Didn't have to use Purification Beads, so at least he's got that going for him. But this means that Vedium got Shadow Chair a small lead in this mid lane, and now look at where he's going, right to the red buff, because with the Hu Yi jungle clear that's so impactful, he's going to be able to clear up that red buff, especially with Gino's help, to be very, very quick to get back to lane.
We can't be inside somebody's head, but I got to think that this is a big part of this new meta. We're not used to having your hunters there with you at level 1 anymore. In particular, Hu Yi. Someone hadn't been in the game forever. So it's like when you see that ricochet bounce against your mid walls when you're level 1, you're like, whoa, that is a lot of damage that I'm not always, you know, got my muscle memory for being prepared for. Perhaps could be part of it. So we see a nice big win come up there for Vedium and able to go back to his lane now and farm over there.
Big damage on a Mando warrior there who just
Mirage, yeah.
took a lot of damage between these two warriors in the solo lane. And mid Hu Yi is something that is, I think, is very, very viable, not just as a start in mid and go back to your duo lane sort of thing. The mid wall's closer together than the duo lane wall, so you can set up those triple bounces in lane. You really can't do that in the duo side, and Death Panther for Elevate has proven multiple times now that you can play Hu Yi in that mid role and really bring a lot to your team composition.
And Vicium using that early first blood to full effect all around the map now, getting the oracles, getting the red-purple buffs, helping in the kill in mid, as well as now back to catch his farm. I don't believe he lost anything under tower there too, as Mando Warrior continuing to getting poked out here by Sam and Fine OK.
So Relics exchange there between Cryptic and Vigilant. It's Sprint for Mando Warrior and Blink for Sam for Soccer. Sam needs to be careful of Mirage whenever Mirage hits level 5, but until then, it's all Robin pressure. Sam can really use that Blink aggressively as he does there in the solo lane and not have a lot to worry about because of it. Just not enough damage to bring him down in the early game. This Vigilant composition really relies on Nemesis Ultimate in the early to mid game until a kill of the Hun can bring that damage in the late game.
And you were saying that you liked Sam for Soccer on this Robin in particular because it was a high-pressure jungler that you wanted. You were saying maybe even a Noelix in that slot. Where do you want to see him putting that pressure? Do you like it here in the solo, or do you want to give Akilla a hard time?
I want to give Akilla the hard time because I don't really want to put Sam near Mirage necessarily if I don't have to. I want him to stay away from that Divine Retribution ultimate, unless it's going to be Mirage the focus and you can bring him down either before or just after that ultimate comes out. That could open up a lot more safety for Sam for Soccer, but either way, I think that Mando Warrior isn't the guy that you're going to be able to gank particularly easily.
They're level 5. They got a small moment here where they have the ults before Vigilant does, but safe positioning from Mirage and Mando Warrior means nothing really comes from it. So they'll have a chance to use this wave to try and catch back up, as once again Cryptic were able to get those fire elementals, and now we see another aggressive move up here from Vedium, trying to invade in this red buff.
Good choice by Akilla the Hun to pull it away from where Vedium is. He's looking to set up a bounce who might can be put into a little trouble, but Shadow Chair finds Akilla the Hun with the snipe. No reaction time there.
Had some help
Beads
from
was used, but really nice setup there by Team Cryptic.
Now Gino jumping in. Sun's coming out from Vicium as well. Pain Nivian going to have to back up and say goodbye to the red buff as the invade from Cryptic on that dual lane side is very successful. Shadow Chair having trouble sitting 0-2-0.
No trouble at all for him, and this is the sort of lead you want to give to a Ra. Ra from ahead is in a really good spot because that base damage from Searing Pain can really start to add up quickly, even getting an extra point in it before the enemy is ready for it, and that heal can become so impactful as well. XP, absolutely critical for Ra, and if you can stay ahead and really maintain that lead, he becomes much harder to deal with.
And the real reason we don't see a whole lot of Ra, as it was Akilla who's the one that was struggling earlier, is because he doesn't really have a whole lot of mobility in this kit. We see a lot of our mages nowadays, like Thoth, who can dash the full length of the lane, it feels like, and a lot of our other safe mid laners, they get punished out. Mirage, though, has been really focusing on this solo lane side, trying to help out Mando Warrior up against Fine OK. Putting some pressure on the Shadow Cheering now that he's out in front could be a good idea for him.
And that's one of those things that when you are behind, that lack of mobility really does start to shine through even more. But from ahead, you don't feel it quite as much. You're not as worried about it because usually you're the aggressor. You're the one running at the opposition, and you can use your long-range abilities to make up for the fact that you're not going to be able to close the gap with your actual character.
And Cryptic now up almost 2,000 gold just off of the early aggression they've been able to have on these buffs, as well as those 2 first kills. Only 5.5 minutes in, so that's a pretty good lead they've already established. Sam for Soccer once again lurking around. They're trying to be here for the spawn of the bus, but Blue and Speed are real far away from coming back up, so just trying to look for aggression now.
And look for Final K to try and shut down at least a little bit of the healing that Mando Warrior is going to receive from that ultimate with the Barbed Spear. That Human Form 1 actually has a pretty strong anti-heal on it, so that is going to become impactful if Mando Warrior is trying to escape with low HP using that ultimate. Of course, still useful because you'll still get a big burst. I mean, having that number is still an impressive amount, as well as the damage mitigation that it provides while that heal is channeling.
Gino and Pain trading off some damage there in mid lane, or at least they were the recipients of the damage that got traded. Now just backing off, and it looks like now we're going to see the 3v3 grouping as we let those side lanes be the side lanes, and now we've got Gino, ShadowChair, and Stanford Soccer going up against Vigilant. Whose 3v3 do you like a little better here?
If Gino can find a stun onto someone like Pain, then it's going to be a really quick execution. But if it's Vigilant who's the aggressors, and it's Pain dashing in, finding a taunt onto Gino, into the Nemesis ult, into the Scylla ult, that's an instant kill. Even onto Gino, who doesn't have any purification beads, or Stanford Soccer, who doesn't either. Just a matter of who gets to be the aggressor. Is it going to be Pain dashing in for the taunt, or Gino with the hammer?
And Gino does take a little bit of damage from Pain there for his trouble. We're seeing that that Athena base damage ain't too bad, actually hitting Gino well, but ShadowChair on that Raw is going to get him top back up. Mando Warrior, though, has that ultimate ticking, and Final K cleans it up. One more kill for Cryptic as Mando Warrior falls.
That sprint huge there for Cryptic. Vigilant had one of their own, but that allowed Final K to close the gap and get in range to find that last shot. Stay to remember, trying to get away, use the beads a little bit early, and Vedium gonna drop the Suns and secure it for Cryptic, now up 4-0.
ShadowChair committed the ultimate to try and help clean it up too, so they won't have that to help confirm this, but they're going to be able to zone away a Kill of the Hunt and Pain Devion anyway. Now Vicium getting that red buff and walking away with it. Cryptic up 4-0 in the kills so far. They got early pressure and they have not given it back up.
In every single lane, and that's when it's really scary. When a team has pressure on the left side and the right side, but maybe your mid's doing better than theirs, okay, you know, not where you want to be losing 2 out of 3 lanes, but you can kind of make it work. Losing all 3 lanes is a really easy way to get out of the game quickly.
And they're here for the speed buff this time. Pain to Beyond is the call. Already brought him down to half health, and Crush won't be available for a while as that gets expended. Pain locked down underneath Gino, who's transforming into the Dragon, but Pain gets out of there with the charge. In the end, speed buff goes to Stanford Soccer, but they're still not even done. Mando Warrior might be locked down. He just got back. I'm a Monster comes over the top, but immune by Stanford Soccer, and another quick kill.
Clean so far from Cryptic. Vigilant has not really been able to do anything whatsoever. A little bit of damage on the Final K, but he transformed at the right time and was able to come in and secure the kill on the Mando Warrior instead. All across the map, ever since that first blood where Vedium bounces down a kill of the map.
Is it just because of that kill that he got onto a Kill of the Hunt?
No, it's not all that, because that doesn't really affect the right side of the map very much. I mean, yes, it allowed Vedium to rotate over and secure fire elementals with Cryptic, but you expect that that's going to be who's going to be on fire elementals anyways, because it's Scylla in the early game, and with an Athena who aren't going to be able to clear the wave nearly as effectively. It really has just been Cryptic playing like the better team so far.
Cryptic's been playing exceptionally well, looking really, and like you said, I think clean is exactly the right word for it so far. Now in position to get this last spawn of the fire elementals. I don't know if Vigilant have been able to get any of these since that initial one went the way of Cryptic. Gino zoning him out perfectly. Mando Warrior here, he might be in trouble one more time. Stanford Soccer does root him in place, but Gino doesn't look like they want to commit. They let him go.
Fine, okay. Just continuing to get ahead in this solo lane. He's up 3 levels right now as Pain finds a taunt onto ShadowChair, but he's all alone. Good patience there by ShadowChair to not waste his purification beads.
The stun comes out from Gino, and now over the top comes Stanford Soccer. Pain Devion gets taken down by ShadowChair, who came over the top with the ultimate. Vicium was here just for good measure to make sure there was no chance Pain was going to get out of that one. Now, Cryptic 6-0 at 10 minutes in.
If ShadowChair holds his ultimate there, yes, it gets the last hit on the Pain with it, but with Pain not having a dash and being stunned inside the Hui Suns, there's really not a need for that. And you want to be, yes, you want to be safe instead of sorry that Pain gets away, but with a raw ultimate, that's an opportunity for Cryptic to go for a Gold Fury. And the only reason I'm bringing this up is because Cryptic has done everything so well that I feel like I need to criticize them somewhere. You know,
I feel like that might be the only area they could clean up just a little. Like you said, it's not a huge complaint. And I would rather ShadowChair be a little too liberal than too restrained with his ult, but sometimes just a little bit unnecessary maybe as Vicium is dueling up against 2, but he's got Gino around the corner, and ShadowChair, who's been all over the map, rotates in to once again take away the red from a Kill of the Hun, who watches on 3 levels behind.
I'm not sure that anyone on Cryptic has had to beads away a taunt from Athena yet, and that's really more to do with the fact that everyone from Vigilant has been forced so far back because of how much damage all of Cryptic is doing and how much pressure that they've had, that Pain's taunts have just been ineffective. Vedium's willing to take that taunt duration because he knows that even if Day gets a little bit of poke onto him, he's got the advantage in that fight.
You know whose name we really haven't said in all this game is Mirage. Has not really had a chance yet to have an impact on this Nemesis pick. Is that just because of the pressure of Cryptic?
Maybe he's not really there. Maybe it's just a mirage.
Oh man, I think I walked right on into that one.
Yeah,
Chad
really
is how
did.
they say it. But yeah, he's looked like a mirage this time. Like he hasn't really had a chance to have an impact.
And that's where has he spent the majority of the map? On the right-hand side.
Yep.
Where has Cryptic really put their pressure? Well, everywhere, but right-hand side included. Because now Vedium's in a bad spot. He's kind of getting collapsed on. 4 members here. Sam is here, and there's the purification beads off Pain's taunt. But immediately they're going right back in.
Drops the Suns down on top of Data Remember, who's forced to run away. I believe he used the beads in that one too to get out, as well as a sprint was popped by Pain to Beyond. Now they're looking back to start up this Gold Fury, and with the heals from Raw, they've got the sustain necessary to take a prolonged fight. Sam for Soccer on zoning duty gets taunted back in by Pain to Beyond, but turns on the kill. The Hun gets deleted by the Ricochet. Sam for Soccer gets credit, and the snipe from Shadow Chair takes down Mirage.
Everyone is just clicking right now for Cryptic. Data Remember and Pain trying to steal away this Gold Fury. They know they need this objective, but here's Fine OK knocking up Data Remember. He doesn't have any purification beads. Cryptic gonna find another kill. Vedium gets the Gold Fury. Pain likely to fall as well. An even 10, and it's just been dominance so far from Cryptic.
This has moved from just a lead into looking exceptionally clean here from Vigilant. It's just too bad it took so long for these 5 members to group together, because they're looking excellent here up against Vigilant, who are no slouches themselves. Shadow Chair hitting the no-help snipe. Vicium with an excellent ricochet in that last engagement. Now they're up 10-0 and 8,000 gold. Looking excellent.
Just Cryptic can killing it. I mean, everyone across the board. Fine, okay. It's tons of pressure. He's been cleaning up on the right-hand side. He got a lot of pressure on Amanda Warrior, has kept him down very well. Sam for Soccer's been all over the map. Right side, left side, doesn't really matter. He's been everywhere on this Raven, initiating with the blink.
Yeah.
He's already got a mass immune. It's plenty of damage and protection. No one really able to contest that. Shadow Chair's snipe accuracy has been really impressive thus far. Gino's been setting up for everybody. Vedium triple bounce to kill the Hun before the first wave. Like you can talk about every single member of Cryptic as a big contributor to their success. This team right now, if they play like this, look like the team to beat in the Gauntlet in North America.
And right now, Vigilant are going to have a really hard time trying to slow down the aggression and the pressure out as Manda Warrior just gets, deleted over there by Team Cryptic. He was surrounded by 3, knocked up by Final K, and that's one more kill as now they turn to the Portal Demon.
And who in the world is going to try and steal this away from Vigilant? No one. No chance. That could have been a Fire Giant, and no one from Vigilant would have even been close.
It really could have been a Fire Giant. They might even consider it now with that portal. They can go back and get it started up. Everyone's here. Sam for Soccer actually blinking in onto a kill of the Hun, forces him back. A kill of the Hun does hold on to his beads, but as we said, Fire Giant getting started up. Suns drop down on top of it, and it's secured. This has gotten out of hand, aggro.
And Sam gets the speed. Come on, man. I mean, can anything go right for Vigilant right now? They will win the duo lane, as we know. As soon as you get the enemy tower, you've won. So congratulations to Data Remember. He just won the duo lane, and the only victory so far for Vigilant.
It's been a real rough game. We're still only not even 15 full minutes into it so far, and now up 12,000 gold. That's without any of these tier 2 towers having fallen as well, which are worth a lot of gold, going to even further extend out that lead. And because it's so early, every point of that golden experience here is relevant. This is rough. Still, level 11, level 10, not even second relics picked up yet for Mirage and Pain.
It's just crazy. I mean, Fine OK and Sam for Soccer are going to hit level 20 before Manual Warrior and Mirage hit level 15 at this rate. I mean, they are that far ahead, especially with how many waves and how much golden experience they're going to strip from the map with this Fire Giant buff. I mean, it's what else can you say about what Cryptic has done? They look like a team that can not only get through the gauntlet, but then compete at Super Regionals.
And we've seen a lot of slow bleed today as Sam for Soccer loops around, gets taunted in. There's all the damage, but it's just not enough. Final K gets the Mez off. Mando Warrior in a lot of trouble, as is Pain to Beyond. They do manage to make it out, but they give up sprints just to make it happen. Now the Tier 2 falls along with the Tier 1. Once again, Cryptic looking clean.
One of the few times that I think a team can say, thank God Cullen was transformed, because if Final K blinks in and finds a 5-man knockup like that instead of a 5-man tremble, this game might be over right now. One of the few moments where Cullen being in that rage transformation actually was better for the opposition.
And now Team Cryptic with that Tier 2 tower taken down have that left side Phoenix exposed. Fire Giant still up for another 2 minutes on Team Cryptic. They've been getting the most out of every victory that they've gotten this game. Now up 14,000 gold. Vigilant. Aggro, I don't know if they got a way back into this. They might be thinking, what do we do in game 2?
Yeah, if I'm in their shoes, that's what I'm thinking. And that's why, you know, a lot of the Twitch chat's probably, oh, why don't they just F6? Because this is valuable time to a team to discuss what went wrong, what they want to do with the next game, where they think they can go differently in picks and bans, and then you can even get into the, you know, okay, well, if we pick this composition, what are we going to do on the first invade? Are we going to give up? You know, if we're going something late game, give up that first buff invade. There's a lot of things that you can discuss in these sorts of situations, and teams should be using that time valuably.
That's what they're doing. Data, remember, once again, the one on split push patrol, trying to take down that Tier 2 tower and left, but Team Cryptic couldn't care less. Pain to Beyond falls. Up into the Dragon is Gino as he helps take down Tier 2 and right, and there's that surrender coming out. Vigilant